Home and Wealth, sponsored by Rodney Anderson with Supreme Lending.
Do you have the credit card blues? That's a thing. According to a recent article, Americans are carrying so much debt that it's actually impacting their emotional state. The credit card blues is what they call it. Our mortgage expert, Rodney Anderson of Supreme Lending, is here to help us with our credit card blues. I mean, I'm laughing about it now, but it is a real thing.
Well, I will tell you, I had a client call the other day, and she was from WFAA, and she called me on a cash-out refinance. And she said, Rodney, I have so much credit card debt that I can't sleep at night. It's hard to go to my job in the day because all I have to think about is paying bills. And she had 31 credit cards with 31 balances on them, and she had over $84,000 in credit card debt. And so here's what I tell people. No matter how much you have, somebody's always got a lot more credit card debt. I saw a client recently that closed on a cash out. They had $232,000 in credit card debt.
Wow.
So credit card debt is really hurting a lot of people, but more importantly, they just come out with this statistic that out of a survey that they did of 1,000 people, 29% said they have more credit card debt than they have emergency savings.
So why do you think people have this type of debt?
Well, number one, it's just trying to fill in the gaps sometimes. Number two, we have emergencies that come up. The dog gets sick, the kids get sick, the kids need stuff for school.
Right.
You know, it's just the house, something breaks in the house. It's just one thing after another. And we all start with one level of debt, zero credit card debt. And then we accumulate it as we go along in life, and it can be weddings, it can be divorces. I see it for every different reason.
Okay, we talk about cash out refinance frequently and how they provide a simple solution to getting out of debt. What are some signs that our viewers can look for to help them in that process?
Well, there's three major signs. Number one, you're only making the minimum payments on your credit cards. Number two, you've already consolidated credit card debt into other credit card forms of debt. There's some companies out there like SoFi, Lending Club, Discover that you can consolidate your debt into other debt vehicles, but you're still paying higher rates.
Just kind of moving it around.
That's all you're doing is you're shifting it around. And then number three, if every one of your credit cards are completely maxed out, okay? If you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out how much room do I have on this card to not make it where I can buy that $50 item, and then the interest sends you over your limit. There's so many other areas of this, but it's mainly if you're making minimum payments and all your credit cards are maxed out, you definitely need to look at a cash out.
Okay, well, we have some hope for you. If this might be you and you are stressed out and you can't sleep about it, cash out refinance might be for them, but how does it work?
Well, here's basically how it works. When you have a $400,000 home, let's say it's worth $400,000. In the state of Texas, you can borrow up to 80% of that. Okay. So 80% of 400 is $320,000. If you currently owe $200,000 on your mortgage, you could pull out up to $120,000 minus closing costs. What would you do with this? The number one purpose, get out of debt. Because many people, and I just had a client just yesterday, move forward on a cash out. Her average credit card rate, and they were major banks, was 28.3%. And she said she had one credit card alone, $30,000, with 28.3%. She's paying more interest on that than she is on her mortgage already. Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, I did not mean to laugh at this because I know that people are actually living this, but there is a solution for them. But what if they needed this done yesterday? They needed this done last week. How quickly can this be done?
Well, a cash out refinance is in the state of Texas, can't close for 12 days. There's a 12-day cooling off period. So you're looking at 13 to 15 days. Then once you close, there's a 3-day right of rescission or right to cancel period. So from start to finish in calendar days, not business days, you can have your money in 20 to 21 days. And a lot of people are turning to these solutions because they're overwhelmed. They're maxed out in credit cards. All they do is work for the credit card companies every single month. They work for Visa, MasterCard, all the other banks and all that. And they really don't work for the company. They're just going to work for that company to pay the bills.
Okay, listen, credit card blues, it's a thing, but we want you to live your best life, not with the blues, not with this debt. So if that happens to be you, you need to call Rodney. Here's the number, 1-800-EXPRESS, for everything, all of your mortgage and financial needs. All this information is also on his website. It is rodneyanderson.com.